I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Could be an interesting village board meeting in Bloomingberg tonight. Members of the Rural Community Coalition Citizens Group that's been working to block a planned housing development plan to show up with signed petitions as part of their effort to force a referendum to dissolve the village of Bloomingberg. The move is prompted by anger over past village board approval for a 396-unit housing development planned for Winterton Road. Those pushing to do away with the village government claim it has conflicts of interest with developers. Coalition needs to file signatures from 20% of the registered voters in Bloomingberg to be able to move their dissolution proposal forward. If that happens, a referendum vote would have to be scheduled within 3 months. The former director of the Recovery Center in Sullivan County has been charged with felony forgery and falsifying business records for stealing rent money, then altering the books to try to cover up the thefts. Monticello police say 53-year-old Renee Sylvester pocketed money from program clients that was supposed to be used to pay rents for off-site housing. The investigation began after clients reported that their rents had not been paid. Sylvester was arraigned in Monticello Village Court and released on $5,000 bond. From Dutchess County, there is word that the body of a Poughkeepsie man who jumped from the walkway over the Hudson pedestrian bridge has been recovered. The body of 65-year-old Bernard Pierce was discovered early last evening in the Hudson near Marist College. The incident was reported to police October 4th. It is not good news regarding that sinkhole repair project in the city of Kingston. City engineer Ralph Swenson delivered the bad news to a Common Council committee last night. The repair work on the giant Washington Avenue sinkhole has been delayed by at least 20 more days, and another $200,000 will have to be added to the cost of the project. Swenson says additional bulges found by city workers within a leaky stormwater tunnel, which caused the sinkhole, will have to be shored up. City officials had authorized $1.6 million for what was supposed to be a 30-day job. The city now hopes to get a $1.4 million federal grant to help offset the sinkhole repair costs. A Summitville man carrying groceries was killed last night after getting hit by a vehicle near the village of Wurtsboro. State police investigators say the victim, 58-year-old Edward Greenberger, was struck while walking in the southbound lane of Route 209 at around 9 p.m. near the Kohl's warehouse. Greenberger was pronounced dead at the scene. No charges have been filed against the driver. Governor Andrew Cuomo was in Ulster and Dutchess counties earlier today, part of his so-called Progress Tour, to check out projects that received state funding over the past year through the Mid-Hudson Regional Economic Development Council. The first stop was the Sloop Clearwater's new home port and education center at Roundout Landing in Kingston. Other stops were to include the walkway over the Hudson, where state funding was awarded for the planned construction of a walkway elevator. The governor also boarded the Rip Van Winkle cruise boat for a Hudson River trip to Poughkeepsie, where state funding for next year's area projects was to be discussed. This was one of 10 trips the governor's making to meet with all the state's economic development councils. Reporter Michael Novenson will have a full report on the governor's visit here at Record Online and in tomorrow's Times-Herald Record. In Milford, PA, police are looking for a pair of armed robbers who emptied the cash register at a local store. The men, armed with a box cutter, took about $75 from the More for Less clothing store in the lumberyard shops at around 4:30 Wednesday afternoon. Milford police are hoping anyone in the neighborhood of 7th Street at that time might have seen something that can help with their investigation. The Milford Police Department number is 570-296-5959. Those of you traveling Interstate 84 today hopefully had a smoother ride than those driving 84 westbound in the town of Wallkill area Wednesday afternoon. Chances are those folks were sitting in a traffic backup caused after a tractor-trailer rig went out of control and overturned in the median near exit 4E. The rollover created a backup of several miles, with some motorists reporting delays of more than 2 hours before the scene was cleaned up and all lanes reopened. There was no word of any serious injuries. And last night served as the official kickoff for the 13th annual Woodstock Film Festival, as folks gathered at the Woodstock Playhouse to take in a preview of coming attractions. This year's 5-day festival will include a variety of discussion forums with filmmakers, as well as the showing of about 130 films, including 19 world premieres and an assortment of venues, including theaters in Rhinebeck, Rosendale, Kingston, and the Downing Film Center in Newburgh. One of the features is the screening of the film Francine, starring Academy Award winner and Stone Ridge resident Melissa Leo. Close to 2,000 independently produced films were submitted for entry consideration this year. The Woodstock Film Festival runs through Sunday. Our weekend weather forecast looks promising. The sun will break through Friday after some morning cloudiness. The highs will reach the low 60s. Saturday will be sunny but on the cool side, with temperatures topping out in the upper 50s. And on Sunday, the mercury could hit 70 degrees. Stay on top of what's happening in your community and in your world by reading tomorrow's Times-Herald Record, and get the news when it breaks right here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.